Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Tea Time with Lynn, where I bring my creative friends and talk about their creative journey, how they self care, purpose, and relationships. Today, I will be having my friend Lord Ills as my co star, and he will be joining in a moment. I'm gonna see if he's in now, but come on in, welcome. Today, we're talking about self care and any questions or comments that you have, please feel free to drop those in the comment section and put your questions there as we're going to just be diving deep. This is a conversation between Lord Ills and I and each and every one of you watching. So please, we welcome any comments and questions that you have. And it looks like Lord Ills is ready. Let me see. Have him join in 2 seconds. Oh, he needed a moment. All right. I just sent you a request, but you send it when you can resend it if it expires when you're ready. So anyway, I'm your host, Lynn Solar. Oh, there you
Yo, what's up? What's up?
are. Oh, you're outside. How are you?
I'm straight. I'm straight. Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, hey, welcome back to Tea Time.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. What you been up to?
Just working. I'm glad this weather is actually like real nice, very nice today. So I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much today.
Cool. Now, I don't think we covered a lot of work stuff um
Okay.
last time. Where do you mind sharing? What do you do outside of your creative things?
What you mean, like outside of what you mean, like
You
outside of
said
my
you
music?
working. Do you have a like a part time or a full time?
Oh yeah, well I still work in hotels.
Oh,
As
okay.
far as that, yeah, I work in hotels for right now.
Okay.
This
You think?
pandemic has really kind of like shifted things.
Yeah.
We're starting to come back as far as occupancy and whatnot, but I don't know how it's gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna be. Some days it look like COVID over. You see people at baseball games and sports events and the
Yeah.
movie theaters, and then the next day they talking about it's still bad. So, um, what's up? That's my
I
people from
know.
Istanbul, Turkey.
I know. I'm excited. I'm like, go Turkey!
Right,
Hey.
right, right. So yeah, I just do that, and then gig work from every now and then. But
Yeah.
my entrepreneurial side is like my photography business and whatnot. So
Wonderful, wonderful. So I'm gonna go ahead and have you reintroduce yourself because not everybody that's on today might have been on last month.
right, right, right.
What's up to everybody joining? Go ahead and drop where you're joining us from. I see a little bit of New York. I see we got Istanbul, Turkey, Chicago in the house. So Lord Ills, tell us who you are.
So I am Lord Ills. I am a hip hop artist from Chicago, Illinois. I'm also a visual artist as well, as far as like photography, illustration, graphic design. And that's pretty much sums it up right there. I probably got a little bit more things under my hat, but
Right. Okay, so we're gonna dive right on into self care because we covered a lot of your journey last time, and I'm sure lots of journey things are still gonna pop up in self care. So I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us. So, particularly for me, self care is one of my favorite topics, just because I had an interesting journey into it, and I had to learn different techniques and different ways that were best for me to self care for my own health. And as you know, self care looks different for everyone. But I rarely get to hear a male's perspective on self care. It's always like me and my homegirls, and we talking about
right, right,
dating yourself and take a walk and all that great stuff. So taking baths. So I definitely want to hear
right, right. We a
about
little bit
how you
more.
self care.
We probably a little bit more different when it comes to that. Like we're all the same at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but I don't think as males we expose ourselves to opening up about self care a lot because growing up, you're told to have a shell over your feelings and this and that. So with that, it's like we just really don't open up too much about it. But as men, we do things as self-care, but we don't call it self-care. We just call it like probably enjoying ourselves, and we call it chilling. Self-care is chilling for us, you know what I'm saying? So, but since, you know, it's like, you know, it's coming to age, so, you know, self-care is the actual terminology. So that's pretty much from a male perspective. Like, we just, you know, we find stuff to do that's just like calm, you know what I'm saying? Like, let us escape from the everyday world that we gotta go through, you know. So
Okay. So, so you answered one of my questions, which was how do you define self-care? So thank you for starting off with that. Do you remember like when you started to do self-care and what that looked like when you started and why you started?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Before the term even came out, I was probably pursuing self-care way before I knew it was actually self-care. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, like as males, like we just do certain things to enjoy ourselves. Like my homeboy, C Photography, aka my BTL family. Like I know him since high school. You know what I'm saying? So like that's pretty much like a brother to me. And what we would pretty much do is like link up and go skateboarding.
Yeah.
And like that was like our escape from school, you know, home, parents and chores and, you know, all the other stuff. Like that was literally our escape. We can go there, sharpen steel. We, you know, skateboard, learn new tricks. We probably hurt ourselves in the midst of it, but it was all fulfilling at the same time, more so than anything, because I feel like with that, it was character building. Like we were a team, but at the end of the day, it's an individual sport.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't have him land a kick for me. I have to do it myself. It teaches you commitment. It teaches you confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, overcoming like fear. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a huge thing with that. And I feel like that did a lot for me growing up, you know, because I wasn't on a sports team as far as like school, even though they tried to recruit me for football and everything, but I wasn't on those type of teams because that wasn't the type of person I was. Like, because I can be very introverted, but I still got people I can talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like, so it's a weird balance for me to be like amongst people, but I still know how to handle myself like extrovert to some degree.
Yeah.
But in nature, I'm an introvert. So like self-care to me is like, I don't mind being isolated. I don't mind having like an area to myself to where I can just go off somewhere and just like kick it, beat on my thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah. So, okay, so I got lots of questions, but I like that you touched on like character building and confidence and overcoming fear. I think it's important to know the whys behind self-care, right? Like I think when people think of self-care, there's a term that goes self-care as a luxury. And that's particularly for a lot of people who feel like they don't have time to put self-care into their schedule, and self-care maybe for people that are single or people that have less commitments or whatever the case may be. But I personally advocate that self-care is definitely for everybody because we need it. That's how we cultivate who we are. But also like the overcoming the fears parts of it and the confidence, the tools and things that you gain when you self-care, I think it's overlooked because people are more so focused on how they can carve out time. So I'm interested in hearing about, and I definitely want to come back to the overcoming fear part, so don't let me forget. But I want to hear a little bit more about things you do to self-care now, being several years later, in an adult.
Right.
And overcoming all different types of obstacles. What are things that you do to self-care? Do you do it every day? And all those different types of things.
No, so I try to set like my exact days off that when I get off work. Like right now, like what I've mainly been doing since the weather's getting better, it's like I'd like to take like a nice long drive. Like I think 2 weeks ago, I drove up to Kenosha. and I took Sheridan, and it was just a beautiful like drive. Like it's parts of Sheridan that feel like you're going through the mountains and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's probably maybe like a little area, but it was a nice drive going out that way. And then I think I went there to actually like check out like their little lighthouse. You know, even though it's nothing
Yeah.
like major, but it's just like something I wanted to check out for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Take a photo of, get some photos of. But it started raining that day actually.
Oh.
But stuff like that is what I do when I get the chance to like mini trips.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to be a tourist in my own state pretty much because there's so much the state has to offer.
Yeah.
You know, since I can't just hop on an airplane right now and go somewhere.
Right.
So that's part of it. So I try to make plans to do stuff like that. Like I'm planning maybe in the next few weeks to check out Springfield, but I want to take Route 66
Okay.
and hit up some like food spots and check out some like the old historic things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mainly like one of my main self-care things is pretty much like going places and just getting knowledge on certain things, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's one thing. I think the museum had a lot to do with that too, just working at the museum, being a part of that atmosphere. And it's like, oh man, like you see people come from far and wide to check out what we have to offer. I'm like why am I not doing that for myself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm going to take a quick second and say what's up to everybody that's joined us. Welcome to Tea Time with Lynn. I'm here with my co-star Laura Ills as we talk about self-care. And again, Tea Time with Lynn is where I bring on my creative friends and we talk about things about their creative journey, self-care, purpose, and relationships. So I see a couple comments in here. Scoop B says, I hope everything is going good. Oh, hey, somebody say hi to me. Sometimes people don't be saying hi to me.
Right, get a wholesome love, y'all. Get a wholesome love.
Thank you. Lord Ills, we do have a question in the queue.
Okay.
And I'm going to go put it up. It's not necessarily related to self-care, but I'm going to put it up anyway because I like questions.
Right.
So we'll be listening to, I think it says a new feature with Sagopa Kashmir. Do you know? Tell me.
Oh, okay. He's asking me will I ever do another feature with this hip hop producer from Turkey. His name is Sagopa Kashmir. Okay. I'm gonna just say this. He sent me some beats. There you go.
All right. So
he sent me a beat package. So I'm working on that.
Awesome. And just to let everybody know, if you have any questions or comments, keep putting them in the chat and make sure that you follow us. Tea Time with Lynn happens every Tuesday. And hey, who knows? Maybe you'll be the next co-star on Tea Time with Lynn. Okay, back to self-care. So when you do these trips, you go by yourself all the time? Is self-care a thing that you only do by yourself, or is it something that you do with people?
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Lately, yeah, because I've been doing trips with everybody else for the longest. So it's like, you know, I don't. And then a lot of times it's sporadic too. Like it's spontaneous. Like I can just be like, let me go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay,
it's cool because like I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I just literally started driving like last year. So
what? Like
yeah,
behind a wheel? This your first?
Yeah, for real, right? So I was just like over it. I was over it, because you know when you're in the city, it's like I was so used to city life. It was like, okay, I'm like 15 minutes away from work, maybe like even 5 minutes away from work. So I don't need a whip. I'm not trying to deal with all this. Like I had so much. I don't want to say fear behind driving or anything like that, but I just had so much like. I don't think I want to deal with that. The accidents, the paying for tickets, parking. Yeah, and I felt that, like, trust me, I felt part of it, like, later last year, being in the city, driving and whatnot. Oh, my God. And I still work in the city, so I still got to deal with it. But I just, like, I was kind of mad at myself for a minute after I started actually driving because I was like, yo, like, the time that I was just like letting go from me, like I just really realized how much time I was letting go from me as far as like not traveling in this way. So like since I got that, I just been everywhere.
Okay.
Like it's just like it's kind of opening up doors for me in the sense of like, you don't got to rely on nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Now, did you learn how to drive last year, or you already knew how to? It's just that you just started to like get a car.
Like I knew I knew the fundamentals of it,
Okay.
but I legit like never got behind the wheel because like nobody was like willing to like really let me borrow their whip, which understandable. Like if you ain't driving, you don't want to tear up nobody's
It's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, and then it's like, so that was the case with that. So I'm like, I'm at the crib one day just chilling. I called my sister up. I'm like, yo, I'm tired of this. What you suggest? She was like, well, just wait. It's gonna come. So actually, my mentor, which is like one of my older coworkers, she was my older supervisor at one point, and then we became real close friends. She actually took me out driving like one day in the morning time, just around the parking lot.
Yeah.
And she was like, like you pretty. She asked me like, did I ever drive before? And I'm like, not really, but I know the fundamentals of driving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a heavy foot person. I think just watching people do it for the longest. You know what I'm saying? So I did a couple days driving. My pops did get around to take me driving, but that's after like I just bought a car. I was just like, let me just buy a whip.
All right.
So I did that. I just bought my whip. You probably see I actually uploaded a picture of my baby on my Instagram.
I did see a picture of you with a car, but
yeah.
Yep, I sure didn't think though that you hadn't been behind the wheel.
Yeah, I know, right? And it don't feel like I haven't been behind the wheel. Like,
well, that's good.
I learned. Good. I think Chicago would really teach you fast how to drive.
Baby.
Man.
Like, it really does.
Like, you know what? I think skateboarding, like I say, that learning from skateboarding took like that really played a lot because like a lot of people are like, oh man, I'm scared of getting on the E-way, this and that. Man, I hopped on the E-way and called it a day. And I think I took every E-way just to get used to it. Like I took 290, Dan Ryan, 55, Kennedy. So I just did it. And I'm like, okay, I'm used to it now.
Yeah, that's truly the way to do it. That's how I learned to drive. I was 16 and my dad was putting me on the Dan Ryan like right away, and he was like, "Gun it!" Like,
oh,
see,
nah.
Every time for the first few times that I was learning, it would be some type of rain happening. So it was like all the obstacles I got to experience right away. So I've been like a really, really good driver because I had to deal with all of the challenges first off. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna roll back to the overcoming fear part. And I'm particularly interested because I was just talking with one of my homegirls this weekend, and we were talking about travel, solo travel, and overcoming fear. And so for me, like I love to solo travel. I haven't done it in a long time, but every time that I've traveled by myself, I've learned some really key things about myself, like you said, about different things about my character, and I built confidence and things like that. And one takeaway that I've gotten from doing solo travel things is just that it's not like you're going to have no fear and then go. It's the point is to have the fear and to go anyway.
Yeah.
And once you do whatever that thing once you overcome that thing, you realize that one, it was nothing really to be afraid of, and two, you should have done it a long time ago. So I'd love to hear about like some maybe what you were relating overcoming fear to when you mentioned self-care.
Oh man. Okay. So you asked me saying overcoming fear?
Yep. Like what are some examples?
I'm gonna be honest with you. When it came to self-care, I never really had like a fear-based mindset when it came to it because I don't think, I ran into anything in fear that made me kind of hesitate. Like I like to take this quote from a movie. I think it was Will Smith and Jaden Smith. They were in that one movie. He was like, "It's not about being fear, but recognizing danger." That's how I move with life. Like I just like, it's not that I move in fear or anything. It's just like, okay, if I know it's a danger here, I know it's a danger here.
Yeah.
And it's all about studying what you may be getting yourself into before you go into it. Simple and plain.
Okay.
Like with solo traveling, it's like, you know the dangers of solo travel. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Everybody, whether you're a woman or a male, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
always dangers in solo travel. That way, you know, you get leads on certain things. You contact certain people before you go certain places.
Yeah.
You try to find a trusted source. And then to a degree, you got to put it in God's hands. You know what I'm saying? You got to put it in God's hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to one of my homegirls. Like, she's the world traveler. You know what I'm saying? She's a world. I think her name is Country Hopper.
Okay.
I forget the rest of it on Instagram, but she needs to post more, by the way. She'll get a chance to see this. But
Yeah.
she go everywhere solo. I'm
Nice.
talking about Dubai, Thailand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The world is your oyster at the end of the day. And my thing is, I'm not going to be living in fear for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I recognize the danger because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you know, people, you know, it happens on a doorstep. So,
Right.
you know, if fear's going to keep you somewhere caged up, then that's going to be on you. And that's very unhealthy at the end of the day because you miss out on so much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You do miss out on so much. And I've been seeing that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much out there for people to enjoy, to learn. So, yeah.
Yeah. I have a question.
These people are stupid.
Your NBA favorite character?
Oh, man. NBA. Man. You know what? I don't even watch the NBA no more. Since this whole lockdown.
Yeah.
It's just not. I feel like the fans play a major role in sports.
Yeah.
It's the atmosphere, but Derrick Rose always gonna be my favorite. That's recent. You know what I'm saying? Him and Westbrook, pretty much. Yeah. So come on, Sago, 2-1. Westbrook and Rose. And I would say the Brooklyn Nets right now because they look like they're gonna bring the championship to the East. So that's cool.
Well, all right. I don't watch sports, but I know what you're saying about the fans, though, because anytime that I have gone to any type of game, I enjoy it because it's so many people there. I can people watch. I can eat food.
Let me tell you, that's self-care. Like,
yes.
Man, I really miss the world. You know what I'm saying? Like going to a Bulls game and just like. I'm just going. This is from a male's perspective.
Yeah.
The hostility is so relieving. Oh man, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Like you're in the rafters and everybody just like either like going yay or it's like for that 60 minutes, 40 some minutes, however long the game goes. Even like, I love baseball games. It's like everybody in that section you in are like fam. Unless they're wearing another jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like y'all know each other. You're doing the waves. Y'all shouting out the same things. And it's like, that's like, I don't know how it is for, you know, the majority of women or just people that's not inside of sports that don't really kind of get that. But being in that atmosphere is just so cool. And like, it's very relaxing. For sure. Not, I wouldn't say relaxing, but it's very like, what is it, invigorating or something like that? Yeah. Exhilarating.
Yeah, exhilarating. And you get to release things.
Exactly.
That's so crazy. I would have never put those two together, like, ever. Like, I don't like when dudes and everybody be like cursing at the TV and like getting extra mad because I was just like,
man, that's a part. You know what's crazy? People be like, even like on the video game, like, why are you? If you're mad, turn the game off. Like, chill back, because you gotta understand, like, self-care. Like, you know, you can do all the bubble baths and like the chill stuff. That's cool, but sometimes you gotta let out like that. You gotta let it out. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch like skydivers and stuff like that. That adrenaline rush, it makes them feel alive, and I feel like that's another part of self-care. Like it goes back to my skateboarding. Like you know, like the first time, like I kick flipped the stair set. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like crazy big, but for a young teenager, like yo, this is dope. It is scary, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like and I think for us like it's like a natural testosterone, like
Okay.
you know, build
Yeah.
up too, and it kind of helps regulate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
not only that, I mean, like, we've grown up with men being very much suppressed when it came to emotions. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, y'all walking around probably like a ticking time bomb sometimes. And so
Yeah.
being able
Yeah.
to be like, hi,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely see the correlation there. Before I move on to my next comment on that, Ozers, I apologize, I'm messing up
Don't
on
worry about it.
Lupe. It says, do you have contact with Lupe Fiasco? Actually, I'm waiting to see you and Lupe in a project for a long time. You
I
have
wish.
lots of fans all the time.
I don't have a contact with Lupe, but I will tell you this. I met Lupe at a CD signing. It was like the dopest thing in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was at was it FYE downtown? I think it's like Wabash and Monroe or one of them streets. It was FYE. It used to be where Ross is now.
Oh.
They had a CD signing.
Okay.
And we were out there in line chilling, and it's crazy because I've like made some lifelong friends in that line. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like in the sense of like I've known them since that day, and this was like maybe 2011.
Yeah.
And we still rock today. So I met Lupe that day. He signed my CD, and then my homeboy go ask me like, "Man, you was up there for a long time. What y'all talk about?"
I was
We
about to
was
ask
literally.
the same thing.
It was just like I was just giving him his his respect. Like, man, like
Yeah.
Lupe, like you just simple and plain and put, like you're a huge inspiration. You helped me survive high school.
Yeah.
Like legit. You made being a black kid that skateboard so much easier.
Right.
Because before that I was just all types of white boys and Tony Hawks. So it was like he made high school and a lot of things just so much easy for a brother. So that's still on my bucket list. If I can ever match his pen as far as writing, I would most definitely hop on the track with him.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, I hope to see it.
spam his account.
Right.
Right. That's how it happens. Spam it.
Yes. Tag him right here. Tea time.
Right.
Hi. We got somebody else from Turkey. So what's up, Turkey in the building?
Yeah.
What's this saying? Merhaba. And what's Aslan, Turkey? Are those different places in Turkey? Tell me, guys. I'm in Chicago.
You know what? These are a lot of people that just been supporting me since like the 2014 when I told y'all I did the collaboration. So they've just been really like just supporting and following me for the longest. So that's cool.
Thank you all for the love of my friend Laura ILLS. So yeah, when you do that collaboration with Lupe, be sure to bring me in the studio for the hook.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay, so you touched on something about the skydiving thing. Would you ever do skydiving? You sure can.
Man, let me tell you, I was just watching one of those. I don't know if you remember this show called like 1,000 Ways to Die.
No.
It was on TNT. So I guess it's like a man thing. But no. They were just talking about like hang gliding accidents, and I'm good for right now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm good.
I feel that.
I will watch it, but I'm not gonna do it. Jump out of an airplane? No.
Yeah.
No.
So there was a time where I thought that I would work my way up to skydiving. And I was like, I'm going to try Sky Zone first,
That's the best place to go to skydive. I'm going to tell you that right now.
But look, one of my friends a few years ago had her, for her birthday, she went to go to Sky Zone. And I was on the fence. I was like, all right, I'm going to go support nonetheless and take video for sure. But when we got in that building and I saw what was happening, I was like, I'm good right here on this side of the glass. Good luck.
Right.
And I'll see you when you come out. But what I love about travel, so I started doing self-care. I was grieving relationship losses, and I was grieving. Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. I was just,
okay.
You said you were grieving relationship losses?
Yep. And I was like, I had lost like a couple friends had passed away as well. And a friend of mine was like, well, I'm going to Puerto Rico for my birthday. You want to come? And I was like, sure. And so this was the first time that I used like travel as a way to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my goals, for some reason, I was like, I'm gonna go and I'm going to do all the excursions and stuff that I would normally look at and put to the side. Like, I'm gonna do those things. Like, I'm gonna spend the money and I'm gonna do these excursions that seem like outside of who I am. And
Right.
doing like, I'm not really an outside person. Like, I'll do
Right.
vlogs and barbecues or whatever, but hiking, not really. Rainforest, not really. And ended up doing those things. We hiked the rainforest. We did the kayaking through the mangrove trees in the Bio Bay, and like, I'm one of those people that I'm kind of not terrified of water, but I am like, if I can't see the ground, then I got a problem. And if the water is so vast, but like, doing those trips, I got real proud of myself. Like, wow, like, I was scared and I did it and it was beautiful, and the things that I experienced was so beautiful. And so I kind of set out there every time I travel now, I make sure that I do something that scares me. Now I did zip lining, and I
would do that. I like zip lining.
Well, look, I ain't really make it. Like, you know how they be like, they got 7 lines. I just wanted to go like, I just want to do like 1 line. Like,
right.
Man, that climbing up that pole, that electric pole thing, I was like having anxiety, and I was like, I'm gonna make it through this number 1, and when I get to the end, that one, I'm done. But I didn't accomplish what I necessarily would have liked. I didn't accomplish all 7, but for me, like, my goal was like, let me just do this one thing that's serious. So I'm proud. I don't have to do it again, but I just love how you can use travel in any type of way, whether it be friends or by yourself, to conquer those fears. That's important. Let's see what else. Okay, so okay. So I want to talk about so for me, some of the self-care things I do are like cooking myself breakfast. I think that some of the things that we do when we care for others are things that we should do to care for ourselves. And instead of like, oh, I'll just grab this snack bar really quick, it's important for me to cook something that I love for myself. So a lot of times when I cook, like, I don't really like to cook, actually, but
likewise,
but I like to eat really good things, and I don't always have the money to eat those things all the time, but I know that I can try to create it at home. And so I use little things like that as self-care in my everyday things. And so I'm curious, like, do you have some things like that? I know you said you don't self-care as much, but self-care can be on a smaller scale too.
Yeah, most definitely. Like lately, I'm trying to pick off where I left off last year as far as running more. I want to train myself to start doing like mini marathons. Well, not mini marathons just yet, but like mini 5K, 10Ks and stuff like that. And regulate and train my body to handle all of that. That's what I'm getting back into as of late, since the weather has been breaking. So that's been real nice. That's part of like the trail running and doing that type of stuff. So that's what I do as well. It's been good. I'm really trying to make this transition of eating better. I make that promise every month.
Till you get it right.
Until you get it right? But like it's lately it's been cool. And that's part of that's the problem being a foodie. I love food, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to like stay away from like the crazy big meals and stuff like that, and like keep my body like as clean as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna set up to where like maybe like twice a month I do the foodie thing.
Yeah.
I actually save money too. to
Right.
do the fruity thing. As far as like going out somewhere that I've always wanted to go, check it out. That's a part of self-care, if I might say.
Yes.
But just getting my regular health in order too. I feel like that's gonna be a major lifestyle change that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm being inspired by a lot of people around me too, so that's cool. But really just trying to just work out more
Okay.
and do my runs. Like that's my main goal as far as like the self-care thing, making sure like my temple, you know what I'm saying, is correct.
Yes.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So like the types of runs, would you ever consider doing things like what is it called, the Tough Mudder or the color run? You do those things?
Yeah, I consider doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I think it's the mud. You got to run through mud with that one.
Yeah.
I'm good on that one. The color run is cool. I just want to run. I don't need too much of the extras. The color run is cool though. That's like the one with all the they blasting you. That's cool. But the mud and all, I'm good on that. Like my running shoes, I pay too much for them to get messed up.
Right. That's how I be.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
Right.
Like, ew, like then you can't like go out to eat afterwards because you gotta go home and
right, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing, like, you know, like the other week I kind of treated myself like I picked up some new running shoes, the ones I always wanted when they first was announced.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I was surprised that they actually had them in store because they sold out on Nike like ASAP, and I pretty much was trying to buy them online, but they wanted like thousands of dollars for them, but they came up with different colorways that weren't as popular, but I'm like, I'm buying the shoe because I like the tech behind it and I like the history behind the shoe as well. So that kind of aided me with doing my runs and stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about self-care and relationships, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that.
I was like, I'm gonna throw this little curveball at you, but from my perspective, I've had I don't know how to speak. I'm very in depth when it comes to my self-care, and I found that it's hard when you're like dating or considering being in a relationship, or you're like trying to meet someone, when communicating boundaries of self-care. For example, I'm not really the best person to good morning text because I'm not an early riser, and so you know, if you good morning text me, chances are I won't respond until the afternoon.
Right.
That's when I have like done the things that I needed to do to recalibrate. So just wondering, like, have you ever experienced any issues where you're like, this is my alone time, this is my chill time, or whatever you have called it, and somebody you were dating or didn't understand?
I think in the infancy of my last relationship, it was like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we younger, and so I feel like yes, to a degree, because like, you know, you will always be on the phone with somebody.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So you know, he said
unpredictable. Right.
Hey. But you know what? Like, no, like, you know, like sometimes, like, I'm speaking for the fellas, like,
yes,
it goes back to like, you know, we be on the game, and like sometimes it can be for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not that we don't want to be with you at all, or, you know, even in that moment, but like, yo, we do enjoy our alone time. You know what I'm saying? Like, with no distraction. I'm talking about like, sometimes you don't even want to hear nobody breathing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to be focused on something, right? So I say, like, in the infancy of our relationships, even on my end, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I would want my time with her, and she like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Not right now, or this and that, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, even being younger and not fully grasping, like, women when it comes to, like, the time of month and certain things that they don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, is it me? Like, nah, sometimes you just got to take a break. So, with that question, it was just like, over time we just have to learn each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And understand like, okay, so and so doing this, so and so doing that. Don't take it personally.
Yes.
Don't take it personally. Like, simple and plain. Like, it's nothing against you, but it's like, gee, like, I just want to be myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is.
I love that. So let's see, we have in these Corona days, relationships became unpredictable. Right, they were unpredictable before they. And
Right.
everything like that in life needs that balance. Absolutely, I definitely. That's why I enjoy being able to be to have developed self-care tools as a single woman before I get into a relationship, because there were times when I think about my younger years and I lost myself in those things because I'm just trying to chase the feeling. Like, I like him, and if he's not texting me or calling me or like whatever it is or knocking on my door, then he don't like me, But the don't take it personal part is key. And so I'm curious how as a man, how have you managed communications around what you need for self-care so that the other person doesn't take it personal? And then I'll ask you the second part after
that. So I had to get over, I would say this is a fear of like being, it's crazy because I used to be blunt, very blunt. And then I see how that kind of like made things, tense with my relationships.
Yeah.
So I kind of diverted from being blunt with people and just like kind of like clouding my feelings to make other people feel better. And then like at the end of the day, it would kind of like just come back and slap you in the face to a degree.
Right.
So it's all about just like my boy said, like a balance of things, like knowing how to communicate properly with people, getting your feelings across without being or making it seem like you're trying to be disrespectful or don't care and stuff like that. So just literally like, just talking, man. We gotta be grown,
Yeah.
So we have to grow up. We have to grow up. So my thing is, and what I learned from my last relationship, is like, sometimes you gotta be about your shit, take responsibility.
Yeah.
For whatever may it be, whether it's they not doing something that you like, simply just talk to them about it. And if they don't get it, give them time to get it.
Yeah.
If they don't want to get it, sometimes you gotta just pack your shit and go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So then I have had so now I'm asking you from the female perspective, conversations where I'm like, okay, I have to tell this guy a boundary, like telling a guy that you don't like good morning text feels very awkward, like because men be like, what you mean? Like, I'm just trying to be nice to you,
You know what? Yeah, I get you, because I'm the dude, like, I'm so used to it now.
Yeah.
Like, and I still do it with like certain friends, like, good morning, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or like with one of my best friends, me and her, like we talk every day. So it's like it's so normal, you know what I'm saying? But with some people I can gauge the room, like I can gauge the room. But with me, my thing is, man, be straightforward with me. That's the type of person I am. Just be straightforward.
Yeah.
That way all, assumptions and thoughts can not be clouded. You know what I'm saying? If you're not that type of person, cool. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be acting goofy when they don't come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, dang, do he like me? Like, no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do, but it's like, shit, if you don't want how I deliver things, then I got to make arrangements. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, no shout out to anybody, but like I think I seen one of her stories, and it says something like that, in a sense, like, but I just looked at it like, okay, cool, that's who they are.
Yeah.
But we hit each other up every once in a while, but like, I'm not gonna blow up your phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't expect you to blow my phone up either. Just like when we can talk, we can talk. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. I feel like when we're younger and we like really into people, we start to live for that person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, I can't. I can't be doing that.
Absolutely, you can't. We can't. It's definitely been a challenge for me to communicate my boundaries, because I know, like, I'm really like in this thing. Like, self-care is one of the things that I talk about all the time. is it to you to be involved or be dating someone who practices their own self-care? Like, what if they don't? Like, is that a big deal for you or what?
Oh no, they have to. That's my thing. Like, if you're not finding time to, like, you know, pamper yourself in whatever way you see fit,
Yeah.
then the majority of that time is like you're stressed out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thoughts clouded.
Yep.
You're always just beefing with the world.
Yep.
How can that be healthy for yourself, and then how's it gonna be healthy for our relationship? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Because then they're looking at you to be the peace, to be their
Right,
peace, and
right. You know
not
what I'm
how
saying?
it goes.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because, like, shoot, I would want my significant other to some degree to be my peace. Simple as plain. Like, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I want to be like, oh, like, they can come to me and seek that comfort and protection, and I'm gonna make sure, like, you got that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like if you haven't at least discovered that and put it into practice, then I don't think it's really healthy for you to be too much pursuing anybody else outside pursuing yourself.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, you know, and like this is being taken from a conversation with a friend. Shout out to her, because she does a lot of, like, just studying of the psyche and whatnot. Even though I feel like she should have went to school for that, because she's just, like, great at, like, just understanding people. But, like, as men, I feel like we do go through certain stages to where, like, we don't really want to talk to people. We close ourselves off.
Yeah.
And we be in middle of relationships. And that's what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was going through a lot of things, and I kind of really just turned myself off to my significant other.
Yeah.
And it made her feel some type of way about certain things.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, like, made me feel more insecure about certain things.
Yeah.
And it really didn't make the situation better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like in this day and age, when it comes to, like, you know, relationships, I can't even say, you know, I want to be, like, including everybody.
Right.
So when it comes to relationships, it's just like we need to, like, be open to a degree with our partners. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of, like, you know, like, I'm going through this
right
now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If they can rock with you, that's cool. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, and I feel like sometimes you find out who really rocking with you and who not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the same time, you know what I'm saying? So, we really, I think that's one of the main things. Self-care is huge. You got to have that for yourself.
Yeah.
You got to let people know, this is what I do. This is how I do it. You know what I'm saying? And then my time, sometimes I'm open to bringing people with me, like, you know, the walking runs and stuff. I don't mind having people come with me. That's cool too.
Right.
But I don't want to. I don't like people. I don't want people that really don't. If you don't want to be there, I'm not gonna force you to be there. Simple as that. And I'm not gonna feel any type of way about you not wanting to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know.
I love that. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, no problem.
That was good. I think your response is just important for people to hear.
Okay.
And then one thing that I don't want to skim over is the fact that communication is key. Like, I think maybe in the beginning of the self-care movement, there's a lot of, I'm gonna do this, and if you don't like it, so the fuck what, you know, deal with it or not. But there's an aspect of communication there where you're managing you're managing your relationship, you're managing who you're talking to. Like, I'm not having a good day, I don't want to talk today, I'll talk tomorrow. Like, whatever that is, you're managing the what's, and that you maybe don't need to talk or do need to talk, and when you will get back in communication. And I don't know that everybody does that. I've definitely been in a lot of situations where guys have shut down, and it came in the form of ghosting or just making me feel bad for my own emotions. And so we
do that a lot.
Right. It's like, they're like, don't be getting all emotional. I'm just like, can I react though? Like I'm a human. and a lot of men just wanting to control somebody else's emotions. And so I do think that that's also why a lot of things don't get shared when there's those moments where you need to shut down and isolate, because you also don't want to control somebody else, or because that can definitely put people in that situation. But yeah, self-care is important.
Right.
Now, speaking of self-care, for me, in the past year of this pandemic, a lot of my self-care focus has been on how I manage my self-care boundaries with my employers. And I think that the pandemic has opened a lot of people's eyes to the fact that jobs, while they are good at being a source of income, we have given a lot of power to our jobs and how we live our daily lives, and we have made our jobs the priority instead of the balance, as we mentioned balance earlier. So has your perspective around self-care maybe changed over the course of the year? It doesn't even have to be this year, but over the course of time, how you manage your self-care with your employer, what does that look like?
I try to keep my job separated.
Yeah.
That's self-care to me, because they don't need to know too much about me outside of me clocking in for them.
Okay.
And this is at least on a management level, you know what I'm saying? Like, the higher ups. Because I've kind of like, ever since like high school, I've kind of had this I don't want to say like anti-capitalist mindset and thing, because I understand how things work. It's gonna be that way. But I just knew, like, at the end of the day, I'm just here. I'm a number to you. I can be replaced. So I'm gonna do what I have to do, and when I clock off, I go back to my life.
Right.
Because like this, you see like you hear it. Oh, we're a family, we're a team, and man, people will fire you in a second.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was like, I went through that experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, don't put all this stuff in perspective, and do all this and do all that, and then just to turn around and be like, gotta let you go, this and that. And then because it's like, my thing is just like the way the world is set up. It's sad, because that job is your lifeline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the next day, if you're laid off or whatever, it's like, your life changed. Something, and it can happen just like that. And you can be prepared as you can be as prepared as you want. And if you are prepared, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Grasshopper versus the ant type shit. You know right. But at the end of the day, like, just like that mental thing, like, when I got fired a couple years back from my gig, like, I did go through depression. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really like, like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And it actually happened during like one of the worst times, because I was just getting over, I wasn't even over it, but I just got done laying my grandmother to rest. You know what I'm saying? So like, that was like a real dark time. Just going through all of that and dealing with it. And then, like I said, like, I'm trying to think, dealing with that, still kind of like trying to heal from, like, a relationship on top of that. Right. So it was just things stacked on top of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Had an issue as far as like housing earlier than, you know what I'm saying? It's like just dealing with bogus landlords and just screwed up. You know what I'm saying? So it was just so much type of stuff stacked on top of stuff. So I think that was like one of my points in times where I was just like, just starting to just you gotta do for yourself a little bit more than what you was doing before, because you giving everybody your energy, and when it gets time for you to just really want to do stuff for yourself, it's just like you just don't have it. Like I was doing YouTube a lot more beforehand, but I just, like, all that stuff happening was just started sucking all of my energy out, and like just my will to like actually pursue and do anything, to be honest with you, because everything just kind of like felt so grim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's kind of like, and it kind of just kind of reinstated why like I don't get close to a lot of people on a certain level, because just like, you know, when you lose people, it's like, do you want to go through that? You know what I'm saying? Do you really want to? Like, I've had like situations where like like one of my best friends, he was killed. And it's like, it's crazy because it's like you wake up,
Yeah.
it's like, yo, you was just chilling like the other day, and then you wake up to a message like so and so passed away or got killed. Like one situation, like he was a homeboy of mine. I knew him through my peoples at the music garage and studio. We did like a collaborative track with the studio, and it's like, it was crazy because I don't think I performed that night. I think I performed that night. I don't remember.
Okay.
I just remember like, gee, like I snapped the last, like one of his last photos, and then to wake up and hear like, yo, he's gone. Like,
right.
It's just like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and it just like, it kind of like makes me want to shut the world off, and just like that's why I feel like I'm cool with being alone.
Yeah.
Because like you don't have to worry about too much, but I feel like that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind it, but like to a degree, I still gotta move and shake with people, because it's like, we're humans. We need to have that interaction.
Yeah.
So, with the work world, like, just finding out how like they just kind of like, and like at this time, like my manager knew what the hell was going on, like with my family and types, certain things, but like, you know, it's just my performance and everything kind of like got in the way. And like at the end of the day, they like, we got to cut the fat. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Regardless. So it's like me, when it comes to the work world, I really try not to give my real energy to it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, we just numbers,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I asked that question because now there's a shift in the things that people are now wanting and requiring from their jobs, and even from my own self. I've always wanted to work from home because I like to work by myself, like I like to work without somebody coming to my desk like, hey Lynn, like, no.
That
like,
micromanagement, right?
Right. The micro, all of that. And I've just always been a person where like back in school days, I would have to do my homework at home. Like, it was nothing just like go to the library. So like, no, I gotta go home to my room in my desk, at my desk and do this thing. So I am that type of worker. And then when I'm ready for a break, then I'm ready for people. So so in my job things, I'm like, I need to work from home. I need to be autonomous. Like, I need to manage a project and then give you the results, that type of thing. And I'm thankful now that there has been a shift where you can make those demands more confidently without it looking like you're just trying to slack off and take naps during the work day. But it's just that, like, maybe I want to sit in my pajamas all day, and that's self-care. Sometimes that's the day that you're having. Jogging pants, a robe, or a blanket.
My thing is, if the work is getting done,
right?
Why question? And if it's getting done more efficiently, let it be. I know in Japan, some places let the employees go to sleep.
Really?
Don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, some places allow it. But these guys where we working like 80-hour weeks, up to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they work grueling. So it's like, first of all, that's unhealthy.
Yep.
But I guess we live in a world where it's needed because, sometimes you just got to work crazy hard to make things function. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like these jobs can kind of do better with letting people be more relaxed and less stressed. You know what I'm saying? But everything's for $1 with them. So that's why I say, like, man, I try not to worry about their problems because
Okay, so then relating and just bringing self-care right on back to the music. I didn't plan it that way, but I love that it's coming together that way.
Right.
What are some things that you need to do to prepare One, to prepare to create, and two, to prepare for studio.
Mm. Well, my first thing is I got to make sure I'm okay with looking crazy because when I'm listening to a beat, like I recite and like rap out loud.
Okay.
So to the outside world or to like my family and friends, they probably like, yo, what's going on? Like, what is
Yeah.
he doing? So it's like it looks like I'm like just a crazy man, but I'm
Right.
like legit like coming up with lines and stuff in my head and just rapping them to the beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I gotta prepare for that because I gotta catch myself because sometimes I'll be like out walking and doing it, and people are looking at me like, "Yo, what the hell?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that guy on the train that's rapping to his music extra loud, and everybody like, "Dude, shut up." You know what I'm saying? So I gotta prepare myself for that. And then preparing for the studio, I try to like my best to like have my verses ready. Nowadays, because I used to like sometimes we'll write in the studio,
Yeah.
or I would not have what I really want polished
Yeah.
yet, and I would spit it in the studio and just build back on it. But now I'm more so actually like, I take the time, I rap it like maybe thousands of times.
Yeah.
Now, and I look for like how I want my voice to sit on the track, whether I want it to be more of my like a more groggy or more high pitched type of angle on how I'm gonna say a certain line and stuff like that. So it's pretty much reciting in the mirror, reciting while running. That helps a lot.
Mm.
Reciting while running because it helps with my breath control and stuff like that. So that's how I prepare for the studio for sure.
Awesome. And then so for me, I literally be having like a suitcase of food. Like,
Oh wow. Okay. I don't bring no food to the studio.
cause I need tea and water and salad because
You one of those.
right. I be using up energy and I be hungry all the time. So I'm definitely just gonna bring all those things. And what's so funny, I think it's I definitely know that it's connected to nerves, but I could drink tea all the time at home and I'm fine. And then when it's studio time, the tea has got my throat feeling all dry.
That's how it is with water too. You like, oh my god, it's crazy. It's crazy because I can recite a whole verse, no microphone, nowhere. Like I'd be right outside and just like doing it perfect. And then when I get to the mic, it's like, oh man. But I think it's crazy because I think it's because like I'm hearing myself, like really hearing myself for the first time. Like I can say things, and when you speak, the acoustics that you hear live, bouncing off your skull and stuff is completely different from like what's gonna come through that microphone. So it's like, who's that? You know what I'm saying?
Yep, you're right.
So when I go to the studio, I just need water. I don't necessarily want to eat inside the studio.
Yeah.
I would go eat now. Like me and my engineer probably go out to eat, depending on the type of time of day. If he got free time afterwards, I just need my phone. Yep. I just need the beat.
Yeah.
A lot of water, and I'm good to go.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so promote yourself. I didn't give you time to talk about your single. Was it a single or EP?
Oh, it was a single. So I just dropped a single called Dumale. Yep. And that's pretty much like my ode to MF Doom, his passing. That kind of made me get back to writing because I wasn't really writing or recording at the time. Because I did drop my mini series last year.
Yeah.
With I think it was 4 tracks. Nova, 85 Ridge. And I got some other tracks that are not on iTunes, but they're still out there. My bad. Chill Roads, and then I forgot the other track. I don't know how I forget it, but I dropped those 4 tracks last year. So I did Dumale. I'm writing some other music now. They asked me about Wasago. I'm writing some music for that.
Okay.
My main producer, he sent me some beats. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna do a lot of stuff. I'm also working on a track for a mixtape. Producer, he's from France, so he sent me he sent me a beat, so he want me to be on his mixtape, so that's cool too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm working towards with that, music wise.
I love that.
I'm ready to do some shows, man. I'm ready to just hop on stage. To be honest with you, I'm ready to do some shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, so.
I feel that. I miss concerts. I'm not sure if I'm ready myself to be on stage, but I do miss being in a space where live music is happening. And performing, I'm still like, I perform a song or two, but I'm not yet where I want to perform a whole set.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But yeah. And I have been singing since the last time we talked.
That's good.
I've been working on a song. I have some so like when I'm listening to music, I'm always like, oh, that should be on a set list. So I have different set lists where I'm like, I know that usually what happens is when somebody's like, oh, here's a gig, I'm kind of like, I don't know what to sing, and so I just go and refer to these set lists to help me. It's already laid out. But yeah, I've been having a lot of good time with music and singing without pressure.
Right.
And I have even looked into some tracks that I had, and I was doing like a friend of mine and I are gonna do a writing session soon. So I credit you for.
I was actually gonna ask you about that. Like, how do you go about writing your music?
You know, it varies. It varies per song. I think since I have always considered myself to be like a songwriter, like a newbie at songwriting, every time I do it, it's a different type of process. So this time though, I like a couple weeks ago, I took those tracks that I had, I played them, pulled up my mic and my amp, and I was like, I'm just gonna sing and see what comes from it. What Benjamin said a few weeks ago was that, you know, he says the phrases and some words and some is just gibberish. So I'm playing around more with that because I know the beginnings of some of my other songs have come out that way. It just feels silly.
It's kind of like a jam. It's kind of like a jam session almost, right? In a sense. Where you just like let it feel whatever you feel. And then it pieces together. True. That's how my stuff starts. Like I just be freestyling sometimes. Don't necessarily come up with a concept until later. And then I just build around that. Like I say, like some lyrics probably be on the back burner for like 2-3 years, and then like that right beat come. And you know how to flow with it, and it's just smooth sailing. That's cool, most definitely.
It's hard for me to like stay in the process without judging it, and that's been my biggest challenge because, you know, once you start to judge, you get in your head and then you quit. Like you be like, I'll come back to it later. And I had moments where I was like, oh, I'm singing the same thing that I said in the other track. But then I was like, so what? Like, all of this is happening while I'm vibing to the thing. I'm like, so what? Obviously, this is some type of theme in your space right now, and just let it be. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited about it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And I kind of like stuff like that. Like, I don't mind playing off a lyric that I spat in another track because it's kind of like an Easter egg to, like, for people. Like, if they really following you, be like, oh, I like how he played off that from that last track. And it's like, it lets you know who's in tune with your music, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can build a real nice connection with certain songs, for sure.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. I was just listening to an artist yesterday. I don't remember who it was. But the second song I listened to, I was like, they said that in the last song, but I didn't even think of it like that. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Well, I am so thankful that you joined me for Tea Time again for self-care. I've definitely loved all the engagement that you get when you join Tea Time. Like, you have a lot of fans, and it's so cool to just see people engaging and interacting with what's going on. Do you have anything else that you want to share about self-care that I might not have covered? Any advice or something? I don't know.
I was just gonna say this, and this is I probably said it already, but you know, don't ever feel ashamed to set aside that time to be selfish.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm not saying be like petty towards your loved ones or anybody around you. But sometimes people need to understand, like, gee, like, this is me, this is my time.
Yeah.
don't take it personal.
Yeah.
But this is how I do things to maintain my sanity in this crazy world.
Yeah.
We all need it.
Yes.
And I say also, you know, people have to do for themselves, but encourage other people to seek it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And self-care can also, doesn't mean like you relaxing, but like if you need to find somebody to where you can have a conversation about what you're going through, and they got an ear to listen.
Yeah.
Seek them out. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all need that too. I feel like that's another thing. Is like certain type of therapy. You know, people need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's something huge too, because we're all going through something.
Yeah.
Some people do have nice lives where they haven't really had to go through anything traumatic, and some people do. And I think we all need to like chill.
Yeah.
Sometimes on how we speak to other people and understand like, hey, we don't know what they've been through, what they're going through recently. If you see it, reach out to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would like just to add this story in. It's like I was doing DoorDash like maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I was at Walmart, and the worker was helping me out. And I always greet people. I always, you know, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Common courtesy. That's one of my main things in life, like the common courtesy. But I was like, you know, it's a beautiful day. Hope you're doing good. Da da da. He expressed like, nah, I'm not. You know, and this is an older man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, and I just took the second to talk to him, like, hey, man, you know, like, you know, I get it. You're not where you want to be, but like this COVID kind of put everybody. I don't care who it is, but it put a lot of people in a different place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have just whatever you can do to change the situation, go for it. Don't ever feel like you can't change the situation. That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For the better. You know. Because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So you know, that's another thing.
Yeah. That's a good word. We're going to end it right there because that was perfect.
Hey.
Well, you have an amazing week. Good luck with your next travel that you have in the upcoming days.
I'm going out of state in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool. Chilling with my little brother. So that's cool.
Nice.
With my rest of my family. If you want to do a walk, let a brother know I'm down for it.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yes, I'm ready. Yeah, we'll do that.
Most deaf. But yeah, you take care too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right, peace.